Hello, the gaming community that is the gamers. Today, I am going to share with you and answer some of the probably high up questions that I get asked involving me. This is, who is AJ? What is AJ? Where is AJ? Everything about AJ is this. Now, I'm sorry for the length of this video. I know already it's going to be a long video, but this is my entire life, basically. I'm going to go over as much as I can remember from my life, all off the top of my head, so it's all improvising, just right now. So you'll have to bear with me if it's like, oh yeah, by the way, when I was back then, this, and this. I may go back to things that I've already covered because I missed out on some details. But it doesn't really matter as long as the details are out there. So yeah, let's go as far back as I can remember, really. I was born in Southampton, which is in all the way down south of England. I can't remember the name of the hospital or anything like that, but I spent most of my first few years, like the first 7 years I think it is, in an area called New Milton. I think that's actually the road that I was on. Well, I was on Old Milton, but that got moved to New Milton. And I think if I remember correctly, we had 3 cats. One was ginger, one was white, and one was black. I don't remember their names, I don't remember anything about them, but it was so long ago. God, living all the way back down there. And we were probably about a 10-minute drive away from my mother's parents. So, my grandparents over there. That's pretty much all I know about the first 7 years of my life, really. I know then that I moved from the south of England all the way to Spain in a place called Sevilla, whatever you prefer to call it. And while I was there, I was living in a place, I think it was called Tomares, or to say it in a Spanish accent, I guess, Tomares, I think is what it's properly called. And I lived on Calle Malaga, which is like street Malaga. And I remember, I think all the way back then is the earliest I can remember my first ever friend. God, that was a long time ago, actually. It was just down the street, because we were renting, and the landlady was just down the street, and I was good friends with the landlady's daughter. And we would go swimming together, and we'd have a laugh, we'd play ball, and all that kind of stuff. We did all kind of stuff, random crap, I don't know. Stuff that kids do at the age of 7 to the age of 11, because I stayed there for 4 years, roughly. So this is just like rounding around, I was there for around 4 years, something like that. While I was in Spain, let me think, I didn't do good with school. I did quite bad with school. I remember I went, I think, through 5, maybe 4 different schools while I was in Spain for those 4 years. That's not very good. I think it was just because, like, oh, I can't be arsed, throwing my pen on the table, and it's just, I couldn't be bothered doing anything. Sorry if that was a bit loud. There was one college, though, I do remember. Not one college, one school there. There was an English teacher who taught English, the class that I aced the most, and I think I had special lessons with her to help me learn Spanish better. So that helped out a crap load, and I think I became quite fluent fluent in Spanish. I remember one time I went with my dad to his lawyer to help translate, because his lawyer was Spanish. And my dad was obviously English, and we were in this sort of competition, I guess you could say, to see who knew the most Spanish. And it was like, I had always come out on top because I was young and I could still learn this stuff easily. But yeah, it was kind of fun learning a new language, but at that age it was also kind of scary, because you go to a primary school in Spain. Your native language is English. God, that is just a wreck waiting to happen. If you don't go to school already knowing some of the language everyone will be talking to you in, you're pretty much screwed, to say the least. But I don't really remember it that well. I think I remember one thing, and that was playing with water guns or something in school, and we would run around, and I think we got a teacher once. But yeah, what else is there in Spain? Oh yeah, my dad owned a skydiving centre where he would teach people to skydive. He'd go skydiving with people, record people skydiving. He'd pack parachutes. He did his own little projects, like a powered parachute, which is basically you sit in a seat and you've got a massive fan on your back. Not literally attached to your back, but like on a big metal frame, a massive fan there. That's what makes you go forward, and then you've got a parachute that comes up on top to help you keep afloat as well and glide. He works on that, and I went on that a few times, and that was a lot of fun. And he made quite a bit of money doing his little projects. It was quite good, quite inventive. I have to give him props. And I remember he taught me how to pack a parachute, and my first time actually packing a parachute, giving it to my dad, and him going to skydive ever, all the wires were twisted up, and he came so close to having to get rid of it and pull in his reserve parachute that I didn't pack, but he managed to untangle it. So basically I nearly killed my dad. I didn't expect that, because every single time I packed a parachute it looked fine, and my dad would look over it and it looked fine, but my dad didn't look over it this one time because he had to go. And if I tried it now, oh god, I would screw up so badly. But yeah, I learned that. I think I've skydived 3 times in my life when I was 9, 10 and 11. So I skydived once every year. And since my dad owned the skydive centre, it didn't really matter that I was 9 years old. But it was obviously a tandem, so I was attached to my dad's. So that was a lot of fun. And I remember when the parachute was pulled after free fall, you sit there gliding, and he was like, "Here son, do you want to try and move us right and left?" And he gave me the thing that you pulled to turn it left and right. I can't remember what it's called. And I was there, I had both hands on one of them trying to pull it down, and because I was like 9 years old, for the life of me I was pulling with all my strength and I just couldn't make the damn thing turn. It was horrible. I was there struggling. But yeah, that pretty much covers the skydiving aspect of it. I do remember though some funny moments there, because I'd spend most of my time there when I'm not in school. Like, we had this swimming pool, and whenever someone new came that we were friends with before they skydived, we'd do an initiation ceremony. God, I'm bad at talking today. Where basically you grab them and you throw them in the swimming pool. All their clothes on and everything, you just throw them in. That's happened to me 3 times. And it wasn't even an initiation ceremony, they just wanted to do it for fun. And there was this bar the other side of the airfield, and in that bar there was a woman who worked there. I think her name was Thida or Zyda or something like that. This is thinking ages back now. And I remember every now and then I'd help her out in doing that, and I think I managed to get a job there for a few days, just helping her out here and there. But because I was young and that, I wasn't exactly committed to it. And I remember there used to be a pool table there where me and my dad would go against each other, and he used to be the champion. Every single match he'd beat me, but it was a lot of fun still. I enjoyed it a lot. And there was a football table. You know, you get those little games where you've got the sticks with many people on, and you throw the ball in and you have to get it in each other's goal. There was one of those. In Spain it was called footballin. Footballin. What else was there? There was also a log and a game that I'm not sure who invented it. I have no idea who invented it, but there was this massive just wood log just there, and basically what you do is you get some nails, you tap them in a little bit so they're inside the wood. You can have as many players as you want in this game, and you have to hit it in as far as you can in one hit. But what you do though is you make it tricky, obviously, because if you're just there, you can't hold it or anything. But if you just right up next to it and hit it, you could get it all the way in one shot. But the idea is you stand all the way back, you hit it with the hand you're bad in. So like, if I'm right-handed, so I use my left hand. Some people are left-handed, so they'd use their right hand. They'd step at a distance and try and hit it. And whoever gets it all the way down first wins, and whoever doesn't by the end just loses, and they buy all the beers. Me, I was just there to play for fun. Since I didn't earn money, I couldn't buy the beers. But yeah, don't worry, at this age I haven't drank any beer yet. Although I do remember in Spain, I think I managed to get some beer from my dad when we were out drinking. I had a pizza, he had a beer, I had a Coke, and I had a sip of the beer just to taste it and try it out. He let me, obviously, he knew about it, but it's not like I'm going to get drunk off of a sip, just to see what it tasted like. And what was it called? I think it was called Cerveza. I think that's beer. I don't think that's the brand of it though, I'm not too sure. But Cerveza or something along those lines is what I had, and it tasted quite nice if I remember correctly. There's that old memory again, I'm crap at memory. But so far I think I've got most of the details correct. And yeah. There was one thing in Spain I really loved the most, because we would go out fairly often, me, my dad, and my dad's friends, and because I was always hanging around with my dad, and my dad has friends his own age from the drop zone and that, and sorry if that was loud again, I hit my table, I have generally been better at dealing with people who are older than me, or who are more mature, or something like that. I've never been good at getting friends my own age, or anything like that, and I have never been social with people my own age. And I think that could be where my anti-socialism part comes into all of this. I'm not too sure. Crap, where was I? I know! Anti-socialism... Oh yeah. So I was always with my dad, and we went to this one place mainly where they did pizza, a pizzeria. And, oh my god, the pizza there, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. They made the best ever margarita pizza, which is basically just cheese and tomato pizza, I've ever had in my life. Every single pizza they made there was perfect, and that's the only pizza I've ever tried to date now is a margarita pizza, cheese and tomato. So, and I've never had one quite like the ones that I had in Spain. I will always miss their amazing pizzas. What else happened in Spain? There was a lot of stuff that happened, obviously. Like, my dad broke his leg in Spain. I think my dad was in this like competition. You get these really, really thick, like padded mats. They'd probably go up to your knee in height, and you lay them down, and the idea is you have to land on these pads. That's basically the competition. And what my dad did was, you've got two of these pads right up next to each other, side by side, and my dad came in and landed on them. But what he did is, as he was landing, just as he hit them, one of his legs went in between both the mats, and because he still had momentum going, he kept going and broke his leg and kept going. And on that day, all I remember was being in the hangar where my dad did all his work, just chilling, relaxing, talking to people. Hell, I knew he was in the air, but I didn't know he was doing a competition or anything. Then all of a sudden I hear ambulance sirens, and I look up and I see, oh, what's going on over there? And so I'm running up there as fast as I can to see what's happening. It doesn't even cross my mind that it could be my dad that's going to hospital. I get there, the ambulance has already gone, it's got its sirens on, it's speeding down the road and just gone. And people are telling me, oh, don't worry, it was your dad, he's injured his leg, he'll be fine. And I don't think my mum was there, so my dad was in hospital, my mum wasn't there, so basically I had no parents there, no guardians, no legal guardians anyway. But I was friends with most of the people there, so nothing bad will happen to me. And I think I managed to get one of them to take me home or something. I don't recall going to the hospital or anything to see my dad, but yeah. He came out just fine, his leg's working all good now, and he didn't have any sticks in him or anything like that. But one thing I do remember a lot is, because he broke his leg, he was kinda house-ridden. He could move around a bit and he had crutches, and I remember I liked to play on the crutches a bit and use them. But I was his personal little slave. I'd go get him beers, coffee, the remote, all that kind of stuff. And I remember I'd sit down and stuff, and he'd like put his broken foot on me, and it would smell like crap because he can't exactly wash it. I mean, you can wash your leg, but that part of your foot's still covered up. That part of your leg that's covered up, that got broke. And when it got taken off, it looks weird because you could see the scar in that where they did an operation. I think they did an operation. I don't really know. They will have obviously had to do something there, but yeah. I remember being his little slave. It's kind of funny. But I think that's pretty much most of my memories from Spain up to the age of 11, at which point my mum and my dad split up. My mum moved to England. I stayed with my dad for a few weeks actually, I think, and then I moved down to where my mum was in Scotland, I think it was, because she wanted to live in the countryside. And where was it? I think we went to a place called Claxton. I don't really have many memories of Claxton, but I can remember the school quite well. I can remember the playground and one classroom. That was, I think, when I started learning reading. Oh god, learning reading at the age, what, 8? I knew how to read, obviously, but it was like, I was slow as hell. I was like, the dog ate the chicken. And, you know, I was a really bad reader, and by the time we left Claxton, I was quite fast. I was like, the dog ate the chicken. So it was pretty good. But we didn't stay there for too long until we moved again, still in Scotland, to, I think we moved to Foyers. Yeah, we moved to Foyers. No, we didn't. We moved to Kinlochleven, where I went to primary school. This is where I lived about a metre away from the entrance to the high school I was going to. Well, I'm still at primary school at this age, but high school, primary school, it was the same building, same area, same school. And I remember, I think, as far as my memory goes, that's where I met my first bully called Connor, who, funnily enough, actually I ended up seeing again recently, like when I was finishing high school, where I currently am living. He wasn't a bully anymore, but he didn't really do anything too bad. He was just a bit of a dick. You know, you get those people who call you names and that when you pass each other. And there was only one time where I think he pushed me off my bike. Why would I be on a bike? I know I was on a bike, but I can't quite remember why I would be on a bike, because I live a metre away. Maybe I was going somewhere after school or something. I don't know. Maybe I was coming from someone else's house. Could have been anything. But I was on my bike and he pushed me off my bike. And it's one of those awkward situations. It's your first bully ever. So what are you going to do? He pushed you off your bike. How do you react to that? Like, I was just there with a stunned face like, oh, crap, what do I do? I'm angry, but how do I show that I'm angry? I've never been angry before. I'm also scared. I've got adrenaline and all that, and it's one of those things that just goes in your head and it tortures you. It tortured me for about a week. How should I have actually reacted? Should I have gotten off, thrown my bike out of the way and punched him? Should I have just walked away calmly like I did and just gone home and tortured myself for a week? What should I have really done? What would you guys have done in that situation? You're going home, you live about a metre away, you're on your bike, and he just pushes you off your bike. How do you react? And keep in mind you're about, how old? 13 years old now. So you're 13 years old, that happens. First ever bully. Put yourself in that situation. How would you react to just being violently pushed off your bike? Like, it wasn't an accident or anything. He deliberately just pushed. And I think I hit the wall and fell down, but I didn't have any bruises or anything like that. But I'm curious to see how you guys would have reacted to that. That interests me. And eventually that high school / primary school got knocked down and they built a high school probably about, I don't know, 100 metres away, something like that. 100 metres, 100 yards, whatever you want to. I don't know the difference between a metre and a yard. I don't know what a yard is. I know roughly what a metre is. It's probably about 100 metres away. So still, it's pretty close. I could walk the distance. I think I cycled once or twice, but didn't really do it. And that's pretty much it to do with Kinlochleven. Not too much. I didn't stay there for too long. Probably about a year. Then I moved to another place in Scotland called Foyers. I lived in Lower Foyers because it was sort of on a hill. There was a massive hill and there was just one area called Foyers, but it was split up because there was a section at the bottom of the hill and a section at the top and nothing really in the middle apart from a hotel. And so I lived in the bottom and they always called it Lower Foyers. I don't know if that's the official name, but Lower Foyers is where I lived. and there was a group of people there I used to be friends with. I got on quite nicely with them, apart from one person. This is probably my second bully, and we're still in primary school here. So this bully was probably the worst bully I've had. Is it the worst bully? I'd say this is the worst bully I've ever had. His name was Daniel Donaldson, or Daniel McDonald, something like that. Yeah, it had Donald in it. But I remember I was cycling one day at him and a bunch of his friends. Unfortunately, he lived in Lower Foyers near me, but he and a bunch of his friends cornered me while I was on my bike just cycling in Upper Foyers. I was actually heading home, I think, and he pushed me off my bike. And he's one of those people, you know, you get those real people who are like, they act so tough, and they're like, what the fuck you doing here, and all this kind of stuff, and they call you names which makes you think they don't even know what the name means. Like, I don't know how to say, what did he say? Oh my god, I don't know, we'll just have to stick with, he called me names and, you know, all that. I don't think he really did much physical damage. He might have punched me once or twice, but that's pretty much it. He pushed me off my bike, punched me once or twice. Most of it was verbal abuse. And I think during primary school, this is when it gets to the lower points in my life, he bullied me so much and called me names and made me an outcast, I suppose you could say. You get those people who get bullied and become outcasts, and no one wants to go up to them to be their friends. I was that kid for the primary school. Anyway, there's another high school there that I went to it was miles away, but in Foyers there was primary school. And I remember it got so bad I ended up crying about it, and I did lock myself in the toilets once and was crying, and I think the teacher had to get me out. And we ended up moving because of the bullying. But when we got older, I can't remember how old I was. My age is a fuzzy. It was probably around 14, 15 years old I was. Somewhere around there. 13, 14 years old I think it was. Where the bullying stopped when we went to high school. And I started gaining friends around my area, and I was no longer the outcast. And this is my first time ever going to high school in Foyers in Scotland. And the depressing part about going to high school for the first time in Scotland is there's no high school. Like, literally, I live in Foyers. It's a 45-minute drive via bus to the nearest high school, which is in Inverness. It was crazy, and the journey there was always so bumpy, up and down, left and right, all over the place. It was horrible, and it made me feel a little bit sick sometimes. Every time I went to high school, it was horrible. But I remember I had a group of friends, and one friend that I was friends with. This one friend, I can't remember who he was, but he was Russian, and he knew some great fighting skills. Like, I don't know what it was called, but it was like he knew some crazy karate stuff. He could flip people 10 times his size and everything. He was awesome at that. And he got picked on. Could you believe that? He actually got picked on, and he went up to the people who were picking on him and beat the crap out of them. And he's not the kind of guy that's like the bully Daniel. He keeps to himself and his friends and that, and has fun. And these people go to him and do that, and they get what's coming to them. So I really liked him, so I hung out with him quite often. And he was rich as well. He always carried like 300... What have they got in Scotland? It's not pounds, is it? He carried 300 Scottish currency with him at all times in his wallet. And he had an expensive phone with him and everything. So he was properly rich. But I never got any money off him or anything. I didn't use him or anything like that for protection or anything. My issues were my own back then. And now. Don't really have any issues with people though that I know. And then there was the group of friends that I hang out with as well. They were like my geeky friends. You know, you got the small one with the curly hair, the blonde curly hair with glasses. He's the only one I can really remember, but there were two others. And we would go in the library and we'd play some games, browser games and stuff like that. You know, my geeky, nerdy friends that I had, because I've always liked computers and games and stuff like that. Nothing exciting really happened with them. That pretty much sums up Scotland as a whole. I did go back down to Kinlochleven and live there for another while, where I went to high school there, but nothing really exciting happened there. Although our head teacher in the newly built high school was actually the youngest head teacher in all of Scotland for that high school, and we had the Nintendo Wii that we could play on, laid out just for anyone. You could just go up to it, pick up the controller and start playing. It was pretty awesome. That's all I can really remember about the high school, apart from the dreadful learning of educational things. And then I moved here, I think. Yeah, I moved here. And I moved here, went to high school, finished high school, and let me think, bullies and everything. Oh god, this is recent, more recent stuff, so I could probably get more details. Let's see. I just started, and you get given these like two, I don't know what you call them, but they're like your helpers. They show you around the school, show you where to go, how to get places, show you their friends, that kind of stuff. And I remember on my very first day, I lost them, and I had to get to, I think it was maths, and I had no idea where it was, because this high school, I think, could take about 1,000 to 2,000 people, probably more, students, and I would be running around the entire place trying to find it for ages. I ended up being like 20 minutes late because I couldn't find it, and I'd see teachers and they'd say, yeah, it's over in that direction, and I'd go that direction and I wouldn't see it anywhere, and then I'd turn back and go back to where I came, and the teacher's gone, and it's like, oh no, where do I go? And that was my first day. And then you're in the group of friends. Let me think. Is there really any bullies? Yeah, there were. There was the group of people who think they're better than everyone else. You get that group in every educational school in the universe. You get the group of people there who think they're better than everyone else. They don't think they're smarter than everyone else, not in that sense, but they think that they're stronger than everyone else, so they're better. You know, they go to the gym every single day, they work out, and they talk like, yeah man, let's go down here and let's kill this guy, we're going to kick this guy out. We want this room, everyone else get out, that kind of stuff. And I think they were all gay or something, because I don't know what it was. Seriously, there was something really wrong with them, but they would bend each other over the tables and dry hump each other and fight each other just for fun. And what the hell? Why would you do that? What is wrong with your heads? They were probably the bullies of at least our class anyway. But it was so fucked up. Why would they dry hump each other? What is wrong with them? They did all sorts of stuff. But it was like that all through high school. Never got a break from them. And they'd pick on me and they'd call me names, but never really any physical abuse or anything like that. But a hell of a lot of names. And I think that's what made me sort of a hell of a lot more antisocial. The bullying that I've had. I don't like to go out because I think, oh, they're going to think I'm ugly or I'm fat or something like that. They'll judge me and they might not want to be my friend, and I get all that. I don't know what's going on, I don't know what I'll do, I don't know what they're going to think, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So let's get out of high school now and come to more modern times. Right now, I'm living in Yorkshire, by the way. I didn't say that earlier. I'm living in Yorkshire. That's as close as you're going to get. And I'm going to college, and that's about the same time as I started YouTube. Bad time to start, really, because college takes up a lot of your time. But I did it anyway, because I found a YouTuber called Deadman775, and I watched his live streams every single time. I'd sit in chat and in his live streams, and there'd always be one other person sitting in chat, Sophie. Some of you will probably know Sophie, maybe not too many of you. She's not usually commented on my videos. You might see her in my live streams rarely, but she's around. And we used to talk 24/7 in the chat. We used to go in there on days we know he wouldn't stream and just talk about things. And she's probably my only other friend besides Deadman on the internet who I've been friends with before I did YouTube and was known as AJsEpicGames. They used to know me as Alex back then, or AJH, because my name used to be AJH00726. So did my Minecraft account. It was that for a very long time. But in case you're wondering, AJH is my initials. AJsEpicGames, the name. AJ is Alex James. They're my first two names. So this is a Who is AJ video, so why don't I tell you my name? It's Alex James. But please keep the name AJ. I like AJ, I've gotten accustomed to it. Please keep calling me AJ. If you call me Alex or James or Alex James or anything like that, I'll probably just ignore your comment and anything you say to me. I'll only respond to AJ. And you won't exactly be on my good side, I suppose you could say. And I ended up going in Skype calls with Deadman every day. Then eventually Deadman introduced me to Nearby, because they used to know each other and they got back together and all that. And so that's how I got to meet Nearby and did videos with him, and then everyone else I know I found from Nearby. If you have any more questions that I can answer, by all means, go ahead. Ask them straight off the bat. But yeah, where was I? College. I took a course in college doing computing. To be more specific, ICT system support. You know, you get those people over the phone that read out the checklists and stuff. That's the kind of job, this is the kind of education you need to do that job. So I took that, hoping to continue on, so I'm the person who gets like called out with the van of a spare computer and all the different parts and that kind of stuff, and actually fix their computer. What it is you get level 1 technicians and level 2 technicians. Level 1 technicians are the people you talk to over the phone. You say the problem and they take you through how to try and fix it. And if it doesn't work, you get the level 2 technician that comes out and fixes it for you. And basically I was trying to become the level 2 technician. And you learn all this stuff. Like right now I've done 2 full years and I'm going on to my 3rd year in like 2 months time. And I've learnt how to do very little crappy Flash stuff. Nothing impressive. I don't even remember how to do it now. I learnt how to use Photoshop really well. I learnt a lot about making websites, JavaScript, CSS, HTML and all that. But yeah, we don't need to go into that. That's not really too important. And then in college I got a new group of friends who, due to my anti-socialism, I don't spend time with outside of college. I don't do anything outside of college, which is why you see me online a lot on Facebook or Skype or something if you've got them. Most of you won't have Skype because I keep my Skype private. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, they invite me to stuff like to see movies and stuff, but I don't have any money. And my mum doesn't have too much money either, so I can't exactly do that stuff. That is most of my life now discussed. What else? Let me just look around my room. I'm sure there's memories in here somewhere. I did used to have a life. 2 people, 2 friends / people I hated. Gavin and Jake was their names. Gavin was probably the more dickhead person. Jake was the chilled guy. We'd usually play games on the Xbox together and all that kind of stuff, and I used to go around to his house most days after high school and everything, after college, and do stuff. But then all of a sudden I just stopped going out, stopped doing everything, and just stayed in. I think it was probably when I started YouTube, actually. I chose YouTube over my social life. And yeah, thus AJ is born. And I'm sure if you're subscribed to me and you've been with me for a while, you know pretty much what there is to know about my videos and stuff that I put up. I don't give a shit about cursing unless I'm on someone else's channel, like Nearbys and that. I have to try and respect that they're family friendly and try not to curse, which is extremely hard because I've been cursing all my life, and I believe in free speech. As long as you can be mature about it and not sit there and just be like, shit, fuck, cunt, nigger, bastard, all that kind of stuff. And you're actually a respectable person who just swears when it's actually making sense. Like, when would you swear? Like, oh fuck, I just died, and all that kind of stuff. You know, whenever it seems appropriate, whenever you get a sudden shock, anything like that. If you can use swears appropriately and maturely, you're good in my books. You can use swears. I wouldn't really give a crap. I guess. Oh god. What else can I talk about? Nothing else really that would interest you guys anyway. There's boring crap in my life, but that's boring. Yeah, that's about it. That about covers it. Oh yeah, there is some details I've missed actually. I'm single. I've never had a girlfriend. The only time I've kissed someone is when I'm drunk, and they're drunk. So personally, I wouldn't class it that I've actually really kissed anyone. Meaningfully, anyway. What else is there about my life? I'm extremely lazy. And when I say I'm extremely lazy, I mean very lazy. A good portion of why I'm antisocial is due to my laziness, because I can't be asked to go out and be social. I like to just stay in, go on my computer, play games, talk to people through the headset and have fun with them, and watch YouTube videos and watch movies and TV programs and all that kind of stuff. And I'm addicted to Monster, that I just sit there all day and drink my Monsters because Monsters are beautiful. And I don't even drink them for the energy most of the time. I just sit there and drink them because of their beautiful, beautiful taste. They are true magnificence. And I guess another thing I should probably say is... Right. I think in Nearby's stream, and my stream it's come up, people have said, AJ, do you like pie? And I say, I don't know. And they say, well, do you like pie? And I'm like, well, I don't know, I've never had pie. And they'll sit there and be like, what? You've never had pie? What is wrong with you? Oh my god, have pie now. Here, take this pie. And he's saying that through the internet, so I can't exactly grab that pie and give it a shot, otherwise I would. But my main reasoning for not having pie is because I've not had food. I don't eat, really. I have a very unhealthy diet. And when I say that, I mean it in the literal sense. On a daily basis, I will either eat crisps, chocolate, cheese, sandwiches, toast, spaghetti, or baguettes. That's basically what I have on a daily basis. Baguettes not so daily. Baguettes are probably weekly. Don't get them too often. But that's basically what I live off of. I've never really had other food. I used to have chicken, but not anymore. I've had carrots. They're okay, but yeah. I've had beans before. They're okay, and that's about it. I used to have pizza all the time, but I get fussy. I get really fussy. Pizza now, I'll look at it and I'll think, oh, I don't want that, it doesn't look nice. I've got a thing where if my food doesn't actually look nice, I don't want to have it. Because on food, let's say on a pizza, on a margarita pizza, a cheese and tomato pizza, I'll look at it and I'll think, cheese, tomato, that looks nice, that looks beautiful. Then I look around the crust area and you'll see it's so dark, and I think, oh, it's burned, I can't have it, it's not cooked properly. And you'll probably see on one section of the pizza there's a huge clump of just tomato, and another section there's a huge clump of cheese, and it's like, I'll avoid those sections. I want it evenly mixed, and yeah, it's really bad. Really, really bad. And what I drink, for the past few years, or past many years actually, I've only drank fruit and barley summer fruits. It's Robinson's. No artificial colours or flavours, no added sugar. That's all I drink. I probably go through about 5 full bottles of that a day. Not a day, a week, sorry. A day, god, that would be bad. A week. And probably about 1/6 of that bottle gives me a litre worth of drink. But that's pretty much what I live off of. And during the week I obviously get my Monsters, which I also live off of. But yeah, I'm extremely unhealthy with my diet. But I mean, I don't really get fat or anything. I mean, I've got a bit of a stomach, but what are you gonna do? I need to get over that eating habit. I know that it's ran in my family a little bit, the eating habit, but most people didn't have it for as long as I do. Like I know my brother had it, but that kind of stopped when he was 13 or something, and I'm 18 and I still have that. So it's like, one time I went to Paris to go to Disneyland on a school trip with some friends, lived in the same room, and this chair is squeaky. But we wanted to go out for food. Well, they did, and I was like, okay, let's go out for food then. Where do you want to go? And we went to this proper restaurant area, and it's like, we're looking at the menu, and I'm just sitting there thinking, fuck, what can I have? These people, it's like, I'll have a full English breakfast and all that kind of stuff. And they're ordering proper meals, and you see all that stuff, and I'm just there. I'll just have a margarita pizza, please. Okay, so what would you like to drink? And I'm looking at it, and you've got wine, beer, can't order that stuff yet, too young, no ID, that kind of stuff. Coke, I like Coke, but I don't really want it. I'll just not have any, I'm not thirsty. And it's like, I'm sitting there. Okay, they've brought my pizza. Oh god, it looks like shit! Oh. But I've got to eat it, otherwise I'll look weird in front of people. And you know, I get put in these weird situations, my heart starts pumping, I'm getting all panicky, and I'm thinking, fuck! And I mean, I'm with a group of friends, and my friends have obviously got friends, and their friends are girls, and it's like, well, I've never really been friends with girls in real life before. That makes it doubly awkward. There's girls around the table, I'm there with a pizza, they've got full English meals and everything set up for them. Full courses, proper, they're humans basically, and I'm there with a pizza. And we'll go to McDonald's and it'll be like, oh, fuck! Okay, so I've gone to McDonald's before, and my first time ever having a McDonald's was not too long ago, seriously. It was while I'm living in Yorkshire, so while I'm in my late-ish teens. And I had a hamburger with nothing on it, so it's literally, you've got the burger and you've got the bun, that's it. No ham. Just that. It took them like half an hour to make. Fucking stupid. Should be the easiest and quickest thing ever. I had one of them and I tried it, and I liked it. It was nice. But I've never really had a burger after that. Then we go to this Disneyland Paris trip, and we go to McDonald's, and it's like, okay, you're all getting stuff? Okay. I'll just have some chips and a Coke. That'll do me fine. I'm not really that hungry. Truth of the matter is, I'm fucking starving. But yeah, I don't like to speak my mind, and it's kind of not the kind of thing you would say, really. Like, oh yeah, I don't like food. I mean, to help me survive the Paris trip, I brought like 30 packets of crisps. I think I brought some chocolate, and I brought some of my own drink, so I'm fine as long as I'm in my room. So yeah, it was kind of disaster, but I had fun. Whenever we weren't eating, when we were on the rides, we were playing cards and that, and there was 2 doors in between me and the people who were sleeping in the same room as me, and our other set of friends. because our rooms were like joined, and you've got 2 doors that you can lock up, and you can just walk from our room to the other room without leaving our room, going round to their room, knocking on the door and going through their door. You could just leave them open and go in between, which was pretty cool. And we just played cards and all that kind of stuff, and it was a lot of fun. Kind of weird conversations we get up to, but that's just human nature. At least that's our nature. And I made some friends in that, and it was good. But then once the Disneyland trip was over, all of a sudden I'm back to no friends again. So my life is basically one social disaster after another in my mind. I mean, every single person I see who I'm friends with that asks me to do something, they'll think, yeah, he'll either say yes or no, it doesn't really matter. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh fuck, okay, I can say yes and be a total suck up and do it, but I really just don't want to do it. I'm too lazy, I can't be asked. And then I say yes and do it. Problem solved. They'll think I'm being generous and nice and all that. But then I say no, and I come off as a complete dick, which is the route I've taken. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, he's going to hate me for not doing it and all that. I think too much. That is my problem. Sometimes I think it would be better if I didn't have eyes or a brain, or like chopped off half of my brain. So I'm not thinking too much, and I'm not looking at my food to think it looks good or bad. I'm just eating it and all that. I mean, I've never had most foods. I've had a banana. That's the only healthy thing I've ever had. I think I might have had an apple once. I don't know. I think apples taste nice. I can't remember. But that's pretty much it. Ugh. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired. It's 45 past noon right now. I should probably sleep sometime. Yeah, I haven't slept yet. But yeah, this video, it's not just for you guys to learn who I am, it's to help me a bit share my secrets, I suppose you could say, because no one really knows about my eating habits. And now I've told all you guys, it's a bit off my chest, but it's also like, fuck, what are you going to think? What are you going to say? Oh god, you'll get the trolls who will say, you're a fucking freak, and all that. And I told Sophie this idea, and she thinks it's an utter genius idea, and it can be like a support group in the comments section, she's thinking, all that kind of stuff. But I'm interested to think what you guys have to say about what I'm saying about me. And, oh, fuck. Should I, shouldn't I, should I? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay! I'll do it! I will show you guys what I look like. I got my hair cut today, so you're going to see 2 different pictures of what I look like. Now, when I had really long hair, like, I used to have hair that went way past my shoulders. It was quite long, quite ridiculously long, which you should be seeing around about now. And I would wake up in the morning, I'd straighten it, I'd comb it, and whenever I'd have a shower, I'm too lazy to like blow dry it or anything like that, so it gets super curly and twisted in knots and all that kind of crap. So if it's like the Monday and I had a shower on the Sunday, I'd wake up extra early, I'd sit there for ages trying to comb my hair so it's just combable, not all in knots and twists and stuff. Then I'd get the straighteners and straighten my hair, and do that. And that's what I've been used to for months now. And then all of a sudden I go to the hairdresser's today and it's all gone. The hairdresser, the floor of the barber's was just, it was all my hair. I've gone to nothingness. So you should be seeing a before and after picture now. And yeah, big mega change. And I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Does my voice match up to what I look like? Am I anything to what you guys expected me to be? Yeah, because I mean, you guys were bound to just make a mental image of what I could look like in real life, and now you know. Don't expect a face cam though. God no, I'm not doing a face cam. I've got miles to go yet before I get face cam. But yeah, that is what I look like. Indeed. Yeah, so I think that's enough for this video anyway. Thank you for watching. I will be interested in your feedback. I'm gonna imagine there'll be one person minimum who posts like 10 times in reply to just write paragraphs of stuff saying, oh, don't worry, it's okay, you can fight anti-socialism and all that kind of stuff. There'll be somewhere like that. I don't really mind you guys at all posting 10 times, as long as you're like replying to your comments, so I know which comment you did first, what comes after that, and all that kind of stuff. Post as much as you like. It really doesn't bother me. As much feedback as you can give me, I love it. I love it all. But yeah, that's enough. I'm probably gonna go now and drink a Monster, and in a few hours I'll have the shopping in. My mum will have done the shopping, so that would be nice. I can have my baguettes. But yeah, this is me. I'm signing out now. Thank you for watching. Can't wait for your feedback, and the mystery of AJ's Epic Games is revealed. Peace out.